Okay, I'm just going to go and have a quick chat with you about what we covered the other day in class, okay? It's not going to take too long, but I just want to cover a couple of points and a couple of things that's expected of you for the assignment, okay? So I'm just having a look here now. I've got some basic information here. Obviously, deathly dull. We wouldn't be using these. Okay, I'm just going to show you here. If I go to the Home tab, this ribbon here, it looks very like your Word. That kind of thing that you'll be used to using for your writing, your formatting and the like. There are some differences though. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just show you can move things around. These text box here, move them around. There we go. Okay, this looks very dull though. I want to make it a bit some sort of a design on it. If you go up here to design now, look, there's loads of templates here. I think I've made it very clear I don't want you to use these, okay? Actually, that's not great. That one is an example. Some of them are good though. But really now they are, the point is that I want you to be able to use the tools in here. I don't want you to be using these. When you're out in the world, you can do what you like. You might easily use one of these. But I think, as this is an IT skills class, I want you to get to know how to use the tools. And that is absolutely part of the marking criteria on it. I don't want to see these here, okay? But having said that, neither am I expecting the world from the design. I want to see consistency, clarity, good use of font, colour, contrast, that kind of thing. So I'm going to do something really quick here just to give you an idea of generally roughly what we're talking about, okay? So I'm going to go to design here and I'm going to go format the background. Now, as I said, you can copy those templates though, you can copy the colours, you can copy all those combinations, and I urge you to do that because some, you know, these are designers who've done this, so the contrast is likely to be quite good on most of them. Okay, but here we go. So, format background. I am going to change the colour to that. I don't want to go black though, okay? I want to keep it slightly away from that. That can actually be quite harsh in the eyes. Obviously, I've changed the font. I changed the font colour here. If I go over to Home, okay, and I'm not going to choose white because again they say it's not. Oh well, actually no, I'm going to choose a nicer colour for that now. Use white for the other. There we go. Don't use anything too harsh. Actually, bright white and a bright black background can be a little bit harsh. So bear that in mind. I also will say in the slides, you go in and have a look at them, and I actually have the updated PowerPoint ones now, the right ones, Century Gothic. Don't use Arial or Helvetica or those ones. Just bear in mind, okay? Use something that's a little bit more design orientated. I've given you a couple of examples that maybe you could use there. Okay, if people see those kind of ones, it turns them off psychologically. It just makes them go, oh, I'm in the office now. It's not, you know, it just apparently does not read well for them, okay? So make it nice and big. Now you'll notice I'm using something without serifs. Century. Actually, if I just use Century, ironically enough, it has got serifs on it, which isn't ideal. I would have thought the Gothic would have been a bit more scrolly, but it's not, so we just go Century Gothic. That's not saying you use this one now, it's just the one I'm using here. 24 point is the absolute smallest you should be going. The very smallest. Personally, I think it's a bit small for the presentations, the kind of style that I'm asking you to do here now. I know I might use that go small, but those are class notes. It's not a presentation. So I would like you to be careful of that, okay? Don't go too small. Okay, so I'm going to go up here just to change that around. Okay, so I can move these things around like this, okay? Whatever way you want, probably over further. But it is actually kind of a good idea to keep them reasonably tight in there. It's easier when you're moving things around. Line things up. Have an eye for that kind of thing, you know? Things look well next to each other. If I can just highlight it, I'm just going to just slightly go for a highlight up here. Gently move it over. Gently. If I use the arrows, it'll move it over a tiny bit. Okay, so I'm going to quickly move on now. So I want the next slide to have some sort of consistency with the top first slide. I don't want everything to be black though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little banner up the top. Right up there. Fill it in. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to write on that. What am I going to call that? I'm going to call that the basics. Okay. And again, you'd keep everything of similar type or related. The heading can be slightly different, okay? I mean, I'm not going to be completely mad on that, but bear it in mind, okay? Consistency is important and marks for that. So I'm going to change the background there actually, okay? Now that's not the whole background of the page, like we did before. We went here, we went format background. It's not the background of the page. It's just the format shape. Now actually it looks like it's highlighted it there for me, but I'm going to show you this. If I just select and I do the right click, it'll come up for me. Right click, when in doubt, give it a go. So I think I actually have to fill here. We'll use that one. Will we use that one? No, we're not. We're going to use the same one we used before. We'll change the writing to that colour. I can do it here. It's probably a little small. You'll probably make that a bit bigger. Just the other thing is, if I'm doing this here, right, if I right click here, see the way it's quite close to the edge. Now you could space it out, you could do that kind of thing, but what you could do is I could right click and I can do my size and position here, and I could maybe change my text box here, and I could do it's the middle would be normal. I could do it at the top if I wanted, or the middle, which I really don't. I'm going to do it to the left. I was going to put it back the way it was here. But the other thing is that you could change the space here at the side. You'd be more likely to change it up to give it a little bit of room to breathe there, maybe something like that. Okay, and if I do it like that, if I copy it over then later, it'll make it a lot easier for me because I did it that way rather than just pressing the space bar. Okay, so let's quickly change this. Century Gothic. Here. You probably make that bigger as well. If you find yourself thinking, oh, how small can I make it to fit everything on the page? You've got too much on there, okay? This is here just simply to back up your slide. So while I'm whittering on here, I'm actually talking about this kind of thing here. I'm mentioning all of these things. They're merely just to back up what you're saying. So animation is one of the things that you're asked to do. So if I go here, I can do an animation here. Let it fade. Now it's done all of them. I don't actually want to do all of them, right? 1, 2, 1, 1, 1. Okay. I want to do them separately. No, actually, I think if I'd selected the whole box, depending on what version you're using. Oh, hang on now. I'm going to delete that now. Because I don't want them all to come at the same time. I want them to come in as a nice little list for me. So if I do this. It's really simple, but actually it is the kind of thing that can kind of slightly annoy you as time goes on. So I'm just doing these individually there. Some of your PowerPoints will automatically do the maths for you on this when they see it's a bulleted list, but some of them won't. So I'm just going to show you that way. So if I view that now, I'll just do this. There's a few ways you can do it. Okay. Oops. Yes, I do want to continue recording. Okay, so there's that. Okay, so let's say now I want this slide to be consistent with this. I've done this already. I'm going to copy this. I'm going to paste it down here. And look, it's exactly where I want it to be. Just get rid of this guide here. It's in my way. It's annoying me. I'm not using it. Well, actually, I might use it. No, delete it now. Get rid of it now. Okay, and I obviously change it to whatever it is. So adding a picture, I think, is what I'm going to do here. Adding a picture. Okay. Now I'm going to go fairly swiftly on here now. Okay. So again, I notice often people just kind of leave this stuff here. There's no need for leaving lots of extra space here. Keep it tight. Keep it easy to move it around. Okay. Okay. I want a heading on here, so I'm going to go insert. I mean, if you do these automatically, okay, they will give you little text boxes here. There is small little templates that you could use. Here, say, if you want to do a new slide. I kind of think they're a bit restrictive. I mean, I would be inclined not to use them. I'm not sure they'd be helpful to you. But look, that's up to you because that's not a design color element, so you can do that if you like. Okay, I'm going to go insert, and I'm going to put in a text box here. And I'm going to call it legal databases. Huge, much more large than that, that's for sure. Oh, Century Gothic, please. Ugh, century Gothic. What? Spelling it wrong. That's actually annoying me. Sorry, I'm in a hurry, but still, that would annoy me. Okay, do you know something? I don't know what I'm doing. I don't really care. I don't care that much. I'll change it later. Okay, look at the guidelines. Guidelines are your friend. That's nice and handy. And you don't have a mad pattern background as well. So that's good. You can see what you're doing. Don't go for pattern background, please. Okay, I'm going to fill that now. And I'm going to fill that with an orange colour there. And yeah, leave that. I'd probably change that to maybe not black, maybe the same kind of colour, dark colour that we had here. Okay, so, okay, I'm going to insert a picture in here now. You can do an insert, but look, why not make it easy on ourselves, and we'll go in here. Got some images here. Going to right click. Google Images is handy. When you do a search, it comes to the web. Just go to images there and pick what you like. So, look, there's a whole bunch there. I like this. I'm going to copy it. There's some information on the slides there for you. So you can use those also as well, about ethical use and copyright of images. This is a class exercise. Let's not lose our minds about that now, but just bear it in mind. Okay. Now I could animate this. Float it in. Please don't do things like this. Please don't do things like this. Well, that's not so bad, but don't do this. This sort of carry on. This is supposed to be something quietly going on in the background, drawing people's attention to what you're saying. We don't want to see you know, very strong things flying backwards and forwards. There's some ridiculous stuff down the end here now. So don't be doing that, okay? So I'm going to leave it in there. You know, if you wanted to, you could put in a shape. Keep it simple, I would be inclined to say. But you could put things in. You could put shapes in, you could put arrows in, whatever it might be. So there's an arrow, I don't know. I'm sure you could do some sort of a fade in on that, some sort of an animation if you wanted to. Hint, try not to. Maybe something simple like that. But it'll do it when you click your mouse. Okay. Use your imagination, but just don't get fussy about it too much, because this is here to support the script. Okay. The only other couple of things here I want to say is I did another thing here. I say do the animation. So I do a transition from page 1. So I just do a nice little fade one. Okay. So we'll see in a minute how that looks. Okay, there was just one other little thing actually I wanted to do to show you. As I say, you can borrow design principles from other people. Okay, so you can borrow from colours from the other templates in design. But like, say for example, if I wanted to drop in an image from a database, say for example, if that's what I'm doing, if I quickly go down here, okay, I'm going to use my snipping tool actually. Snipping tool. Okay, so I'm just going to, let's say I'm referring to westlaw.ie. So I'll just take a little snapshot of that. I'm going to my PowerPoint. I'm just going to drop it in here. Let's pretend this is the one I want to use for whatever reason. Stick it in here, okay. So I want to use that as a bit of a template for a colour that I'm going to build a page around, perhaps, okay. So if I go back into format background, let's say I want the background to be that colour, I want to borrow that orange, I'll go to solid fill, eyedropper tool. Okay, eyedropper tool here. A little bit of mention is in the lynda.com demo as well, so that could be useful. I'm going to click on that, and as I hover over it, there it is, it's orange. Oh, and it's done it for me there. Let's say I don't really want that, I just wanted to save the colour. It's actually going to remember it down there, the recent one. Equally, if I wanted to do the writing as that, let's pretend for a second actually I want to use this green here. I'll call that up for a minute, and I want my writing to the back green, so go to highlight something, pretend I'm going to change it, colour, I'll hover over it there, and look, that eyedropper tool is there again as well, so I'm just going to click on that. It's wondering what colour I want to choose. I want to choose that dark green, and it's done it there, and it's going to remember that there as well. So I'm getting rid of this template because I don't want that, as it's quite obviously taken from the design. But let's say, right, I love that colour, I'm going to change that to that green, or I could change my background. I'm going to go back up here. I'll right click here. Actually, I can do it here. It's out of fill, it'll be there. I already have it up. And change that to green, for example. Let's say I wanted to, but God, they don't go great. Yeah. Okay. So that is essentially it. The other thing, actually, just to say quickly, I'm going to copy that. I'm going to paste it in. Let's say you have something in front of another now. They're the same picture, so it's a bit silly. I'll do it in here, actually. If I paste that in there. I want that to be behind, for whatever reason. Let's pretend I want it behind. If I right click again, right click your friend, send to back. Send to the back. You might want that. Whichever range you want it. It's in the back, but now I want it in the front. I'll right click it. And I'm going to bring it to the front. So. Okay. Okay, I think that's reasonably, it's covered quite a lot. I'm going to put the lynda.com things up as well, so you can have a look at those also, if you need a bit of help. What I do want to show you is I want to show you the view and the notes page here. I go on about the slides quite a bit, the script quite a bit. So I would say on my first page, well, this is not my first page. I'm going to go here, let's say if I'm doing my script for my first, I want a script present for everything, okay? So I'd say, hi, my name is, so on, so on, so on. Today I'm going to be talking to you about whatever it might be. Okay, then you go on to your next one. And then you will say something along the lines of, I'd like to discuss with you the following, whatever it might be. Keep about 4 things, 6 they say is as much. God, don't put too much up there, okay? Keep it nice and simple. Imagine that this is something you're doing in real life. You're not going to present live, but I want you to understand that it's not just about the pictures and the moving the things around. They're always there just to serve what you're doing, okay? There's another element of it here as well. When you're finished, sorry, when you're in here, by the way, just to say, I mean, you can always view it. There's a few different ways you can do it. You can do it in a reading view. You can do it from the first page. There's a few ways of doing it, okay? I can go through that with you in class next week. But I do want you to save it. When you're submitting it, save it as a PowerPoint so that I can see it like this, and then I'll be able to go in and I will be able to see all the script elements of it here. So I will be able to see that you've written the script and that you understand that the slides are there to support the script, and the slides are not a script for you to read from. This is a good exercise for you to do this here because you're not actually presenting it, so you can afford to be a little bit brave about what you'd imagine you'd say. However, I do want you to do another version. I'm going to go save as, okay, and we're going to save this to the desktop. That's where I have been saving them. Normally, the one I've done here now is PowerPoint Demo. This, I want you to save it as a show. I'm just going to change the name here so it's different for me. It can have the same name for you. It doesn't matter. Once it's a different kind of a document, I'm going to go save as, PowerPoint show, okay, and I'm going to save this as that. You see it looks a little different there as well, okay? PowerPoint demo show. Well, that's the other one I did earlier. Okay, so I'm going to go to the desktop and have a look at that. The point of this is, okay, the reason I have this is because if you're second or third person and you're presenting to somebody, you are not necessarily going to want to be fumbling and messing on screen, kind of like I'm doing now. Looking at your PowerPoint, how do you get into the reading view? You want to be able to walk up there with confidence, and you want to be able to press the button, and you want to get going, you want to get moving. You'll probably have to you'll probably have to provide somebody with the file that you're going to be speaking from often. So if I put it there, it goes straight in there. It's not editable, it's just a video. So there we go. Hello, my name is Dimfla Nivain, and I'm here to talk to you about PowerPoint demonstration IT skills. First off, we're going to talk about the basics. We're going to look at adding slides. Then we'll discuss a little bit about adding your content, making it look a bit good, but above all, keeping it simple and keeping that in mind. So here we go. We're going to do something mad. Don't do that. Okay? So that's it. And just to say now, as you notice at the start now, it did come in nice and gently transition in the first page there. Okay. Oh, I don't have a transition in there. Okay. But look, that's it. I can show you on Tuesday about anything else, okay? Just remember, one animation really is all I need, so you can do that as a list. I do want to transition from the first page to the second page, so all you do is you have the first page ready, click on transition, a nice fade, gentle fade in. Play around with it, talk to me on Tuesday about it. I hope that was helpful. Let me know if there's anything else you need, okay? Thank you.